Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Porchfest next year!
My name is Monty May. I'm here at Porchfest on this gorgeous Sunday day, Sunday afternoon. We came down here to see our neighbors. Jim Shaw up there on the guitar is our next door neighbor, and they're doing an outstanding job. They have quite a collection of people here, but obviously they're attracting a pretty good crowd. Thank you.
My bag is sinking low, and I do believe it's time to get back to Miss Annie. You know she's the only one who sent me here with her regards for everyone. Take the load off Annie, take a load for free, take the load off Annie. Put the load right on me.
Describe the time you've been having so far today.
Well, in all honesty, I just got here. We had a little late start because of lunch, but we were lucky enough to get to speak real quick with the act that's on before us. They're performing behind you right now, which is nice. We find that this is a really great sort of community event. This is our first Porchfest. I'm in a band called Peaches and Crime, and we're performing next. So we're really excited to be part of this. Most of us are from Binghamton, New York, rather than Ithaca. And we don't have anything like this there. So this is a really exciting first for us.
This is the first time I've been to Porchfest, and I'm very glad I came, and I really like seeing all the variety of people, old and young, and a lot of my generation, which is really nice, and it is very, very fun and very, very revealing of where we're all at.
Darling, you send me, darling, you send me, whoa, you send me, honest you do. Darling, you thrill me, whoa, you thrill me. Darling, you thrill me, honest you do, honest you do. First I thought it was just infatuation, but it's lasted so long. Now I find myself wanting to marry you and take you home. Whoa, you send me, darling, you send me. Well, now you send me, honest you do. First I thought it was just infatuation, but it's lasted so long. Now I find myself wanting just to marry you, take you home. Whoa, you send me, darling, you send me. Well, now you send me, honest you do, honest you do. Honest you do, 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 honest you do.
Some jamborees in the New York cemetery. Jamboree, New York cemetery. Zombies from Mars. Some of them were great guns, Zodiacs, and since the season was carnival season, they got together and back and they were singing back to back, belly to belly. Well, I don't give a damn, 'cause I'm some dead already. Back to back, belly to belly. It's a zombie jamboree. One female zombie, she won't be dancing. There's no space for dancing, I'm so sorry. You know the lead singer starts to make his run, running out his arms, rocking out his one bystander, he had this to say: zombie was a zombie to the zombie breakaway.
Okay, I just come out for the fresh air.
Just getting some
Are you
fresh air.
part of the group?
Oh no, but I recorded one of their songs for a TV show.
They look like a well-knit group.
They are.
They ought to fight against the government, though. The government is screwing us.
What you are about to witness is a short glance at the vast total of art submissions available for public viewing. We witness dazzling displays and spontaneous exhibitions brought on by the sheer ecstasy of our culture from ordinary village folk and students. Yes, September 2014 was surely a time to be alive at Shenango Point Village. I sincerely apologize and regret that I could not offer more to you, the viewer, of the sum total of displayed pieces. Everywhere I looked, I found well-dressed, good-looking young and old men and women, all wearing a fond expression. There was an exhilarating sense of new venues opening up, burgeoning and desperate to attract newcomers, hoping to become a monthly stopover. But all of these places will have to wait until a later first Friday in the month.
Come to Binghamton the first Friday of every month.
Orazio Salati, who owns the gallery, is a friend of mine for over 30 years. He inspired me from the minute I met him. There's nothing I can really tell you except he allowed me to be who I was. And the teachers and the programs at UE High School were beyond so many programs any kid ever had. I was blessed to have Roz as a dear friend and a teacher and an inspiration, so this is all indebted to him.
Tonight we will be speaking with John Pooler, the folk artist, and Linda Eldred at the Salvation Army. Then we will go across the street to Orion Beauty and Balance, where we will hear the harpist Ted Davenport and speak with the featured artist Teresa Arcodia.
Here at the Salvation Army, we want to start doing this as kind of a ministry to the public, so that Christian artists can show off their artwork as an expression of their faith. And there's a message behind every picture, every painting that the artist displays.
You're John Pooler, the artist, the
Yes.
folk artist.
Yes.
And why did you bring your art to the Salvation Army? Were you invited here?
Yes, I was. I was invited here from the major on.
And how does he know you?
He sent a letter to the churches and asked for anyone who may have some artwork they'd like to display it on the first Friday. They wanted to get started with the first Friday. And you would ask my wife about this picture.
Why are these bears wearing hats and backpacks?
Because they're bearing the burdens of each other, and pushing and so forth. And
the big bear's having a hard time climbing the mountain.
But the idea came from Jake Day from the state of Maine, Davenport, Maine. He did the animation for the movie Bambi.
Okay.
And he's been dead for 40 years, but his artwork up around Davenport is all over the place. And almost every week they have a picture in the newspaper, and I still get the newspaper. And over there in the background is a sunrise service for animals. And that was in one of the animals. I have prints of animals playing football, basketball, baseball, skiing, and all kinds of prints that he has done.
So it's nothing new to you?
It's nothing new, but some of them I changed a little bit. I add eagles and so forth because I like to do eagles. And,
it's nice colors on the horizon too. Little shades of pink and teal there.
The picture there, pencil drawing, I did when I was in the first grade, so I always liked to draw, but it wasn't until I retired 2003 and 2005, I decided to go to a senior citizen in Harperville and learn how to paint, so I've been doing this since.
I think that your skill is developing, sir.
Thank you very much.
My landlord and landlady.
Okay.
So.
Hi, what's your name?
My name's Linda.
Linda, and you are a crochet worker.
Crocheter, knitter, beater. I'm spreading out.
Yes, you have quite a market table here.
Thank you.
How long have you been knitting for?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm 63 years old and I learned to knit when I was a teenager, so I've been doing it for a while.
Over 40 years.
Yeah.
So what brought you to the Salvation Army today on this first Friday?
Well, a friend of mine told me that they were trying to get something new started here at the Salvation Army, a coffee shop, and they're trying to bring people in, and that he invited me to bring my crafts down here, and I thought, sure, it's a good idea.
This is all part of a gorgeous Washington Street movement to attract local tourism to Binghamton on First Fridays.
And I think it's a great idea.
Typically the events have been in galleries only, but now when we start to see the Salvation Army open its doors, this is a real sign that the public is invited to First Friday, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and not just for First Friday, but everywhere in Binghamton. You know, it's not just restaurants anymore or stores. You know, the Salvation Army, everything is just great.
It's a real opportunity to show the services that Binghamton offers to the people.
I agree.
Well, thanks for showing your work here.
Next, we sneak into the iMagica shop to see some enchanting wares. If you're traveling through Binghamton and you can't seem to find a place to buy a sage rub, well, I've found some there. Crystals and spindles and gadgets galore, sculpture and a table to balance beautiful spheroid glass objects. What else does iMagica have? Oh, they have lots of stuff.
Hi, I'm Sherry Storrs from Green Meadow Photography, and I'm honored and privileged to be here at iMagica and Court Street in Binghamton for First Friday.
Hey, Aaron.
Was my aunt and uncle's grocery store.
In the 60s and 70s?
No, in the 50s. And my dad came from Sicily, came here and worked with my uncle. And it was like 2 weeks before coming in here, I was in this actual
Salati.
No, it was
Oh, yeah.
It's a fabulous
In Binghamton, there has been one stabilizing influence that has sustained the arts in Burke County and upstate New York. He has been an instrument of peace and has guided the ancients to know the beauty of mankind. We spoke together, again briefly, about the pilgrimage he has taken to have ascended to the ranks of God's celestial artisans, and with this record I commit him to your memory. I now present the September feature, a brief interview with the retired art teacher, now curator, author to several priceless poems, Orazio Salati.
Describe your affiliation with the Gorgeous Washington Street Association.
I remember Gorgeous Washington Street Association was an organization that started out to beautify Binghamton. Flowers, cleaning up the area, trash, etc. And eventually just kind of blossomed to where more venues and businesses were becoming members. And then when we started doing the art walks way back in 2001, 2002, they kind of took over as advertising and just kind of arranged everything for us. And they're like the umbrella. And so they now is really the organization that gets the thing off the ground in a sense.
So you're only a member in one participating gallery. Is it
Right.
very easy for other new galleries to begin and start up with an association with this organization?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Galleries are members, restaurants, businesses, banks, individual artists, with their studios that they want to open to show the public are members. So it's really a very diverse group of people. And you want to be a part of First Friday, you join, and it gives you an opportunity to
do you continue to mentor youth in our area today?
Well, it's a good organization. I taught public high school for 40 and a half years. I taught a couple years at college, local college, BCC, Broome Tech, Broome Community College is no longer Broome Tech, Keystone College, Empire. So I've done, and also even adult classes. I still do. People still call me up and they want me to review their portfolio. Not necessarily to show in a gallery, are they ready to show in a gallery? What needs to be improved? The artist I'm showing right now, Heather Curtis, is an ex-student of mine. And she's been out in the field of photography almost 30 years now, so she's, you know, a little bit older than a lot of the younger kids that I've mentored lately. But that's an example. She has come back to exhibit her work here, and it's an honor for me to have an ex-student, you know, be able to go into that direction, which is fantastic.
Orazio?
I moved to Colorado 17 years ago, and I found my home. And it's nothing but heaven for me, and I wanted to share it with everybody back here at home so they can come west. There's nothing like it. So thank you for being here, and I appreciate any coverage and help you can help me with. This is my love, and this is my passion. So enjoy it.
And he was on the phone saying, well, I was told for you to be at the Vatican at 12 o'clock tomorrow. That's your only opportunity, and if you can be there, I have no idea what they're going to tell you. They may just very well say to you, just stop trying. It's not going to work. So I went and I spoke with the Attorney General of the museum, the Vatican Museum. He took me into a room and not interrogated me, but he wanted to know why, what's going on, who are you, and what kind of credentials do you have, and what are you going to do with the knowledge that you're going to, get up there? Well, what's the intent? And I said, I really don't have an intent. I want to share with my students, and me personally, I'm Italian. I just feel I need to experience this, you know. And I used that. My soul needs this. He kind of laughed, and he goes, well, I don't know who gave you permission, but you have 45 minutes. So I said, oh my God. You know, he said, you can't take your camera. You can take a journal. So I left everything behind. And the priest was with me, but they wouldn't let him go. So he had to sit at the entrance. And I went through with my pass, and I made it through the Sistine Chapel. There's, you know, hundreds of people looking up to the ceiling. And there was a scaffolding, a little elevator behind curtains. And I went and I showed my pass, and this guy let me in. I get to the top, and now I'm just the opposite of Jesus on the wall, the Last Judgment. And this man says, he calls out my name, Orazio, Orazio, Orazio. And all I said was, yes, God, I'm here. That's all I said. And he started laughing, and I'm turned around, and there's this little man, you know, come on, come on. So I'm walking kind of, you know, because the ceiling's a little curved. And I get up there, and it's this huge mammoth room that they made with scaffolding, with computers and test tubes and all sorts of sponges and paints and etc. And there were 3 people wiping, just kind of wiping. And one thing that's another, and finally he asks questions, and he says, I understand you have a lot of questions. Well, you don't have a lot of time, but you know, what do you need to know? So I started talking, and he goes, oh, excuse me, I'm being summoned. They found something. So we all walk over to this wall, and they're just wiping away, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like this little face appears.
It revealed itself.
You know, I mean, I got teary-eyed, I got goose pimples, and everybody's all excited, and they're writing all sorts of stuff down, they're taking pictures and analyzing the area, etc. And then I just sat back and watched. 3 hours later, I was still there, even though they had told me 45 minutes. And then finally he says, well, you know, we've got to come to an end here. It's getting towards the end of the day. And I said, well, you know, I have a request. He says, what's that? Can I touch the ceiling? Well, the ceiling is only about, you know, this far from my head.
Right.
And he said, well, okay, let's wash your hands with a solution, which some distilled water and etc. like that. Because do not use your fingernails. And I just kind of went and kind of followed the cartoon that Michelangelo had, you know, put there, and you can see brush strokes, unbelievable brush strokes. Can I shut that off? Or just keep it going?
Not going to pick
up. Okay. Very abstract in a sense, but from down there, it looks all blended. But from up there, you can actually see the stroke. And I touched it, and with little notes like, you know, so much percent of zinc and so much percent of terracotta, all different chemicals that Michelangelo wrote. And then he says, okay, you know, you've got to leave. And the interesting thing about it, when I say it's a soul experience, the priest connected with someone who connected with someone. Maybe it was the Pope himself, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
My senior thesis was Eve tempting Adam in the Sistine Chapel. which was in I was like 22 years old, 21 years old. Here I am now, 1987, which I'm, my 40s. That's what they were restoring, was that segment.
Find a girl, and I know I will wait for you in time. There you go.